Good day, everyone. Okay, for today's lesson, we are going to discuss about the area of a sector and segment of a circle. Okay, so here are the objectives. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to find the area of sectors and also the area of the segments and find arc lengths. So here are the important terms that you should remember in our lesson. What is the sector of a circle, the segment of a circle, and the arc length? So the area of a sector is a fraction of the circle containing the sector. To find the area of a sector whose central angle measures m degrees, multiply the area of the circle by m degrees over 360 degrees. Okay, so what is the area to find? What is the formula to find the area of the circle? So the formula class to find the area of the circle is that is area of the circle equals pi r squared. Okay, so to find the area of the sector, we must multiply the area of the circle, which is pi r squared, to m degrees over 360 degrees. Okay, so we have here the term a sector of a circle is a region bounded by two radii of the circle and their intercepted arc. Okay, so here in the diagram we have sector ACB. Okay, as you can see in the diagram, we have sector ACB. And to find the area of the circle, okay, to find the area of the circle, we must multiply the area of the circle, which is pi r squared. Okay, it is pi r squared times the quantity of m degrees over 360 degrees. Okay, so that is the formula to find the area of the sector. So we have here a helpful hint. Write the degree symbol after m in the formula to help you remember to use degree measure, not arc length. Okay? So we have here an example. Find the area of each sector and give answers in terms of pi and rounded to the nearest hundred. So we have sector H, G, J, this one. Okay, so H, G, J. Then the radius is 12 meters and the M is 131 degrees, or the measure of the central angle. Okay, so use the formula for area of sector. We have A equals pi r squared times m degrees over 360 degrees. So substitute 12 for r and 131 for m. Okay, ayan. So i-substitute lang natin yung 12 sa r at 131 naman sa m. Then simplify. So to simplify this one, okay, to show you how to solve this one, pi. So 12 squared muna, class. What is 12 squared? So that is 144, right? So that is pi times 144 times 131, 131 degrees over 360 degrees. Okay, so next is yung 144 pi. Okay, yung 144, i-multiply natin sa 131. So 144 times 131 is 18,864. Okay, so that will become 18,000. So pi times 18,864 over 360. Okay, so 18,864 divided by 360 is 52.4, right? So that is pi times 52.4 or 52.4 pi. Okay? So 52.4 pi m squared or meter squared. Yung ating unit yan ha kasi yung ating radius is m. Okay, so don't forget to write the unit in your final answer. Okay? So 52.4 pi meter squared. 52.4, to simplify it further, 52.4 times pi is 164.62 meters squared. So this is the final answer. The area of the sector, 164.62 meter squared. Okay, example number 2. Find the area of each sector and give answers in terms of pi and rounded to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so we have sector ABC and the radius is 5 feet and the measure of the central angle or the measure of its intercepted arc is 25 degrees. Okay, so the value of M is 25 degrees and the value of R is 5. Okay, so again, use the formula. A equals pi r squared times the quantity of m degrees over 360 degrees. So substitute 5 for r and 25 for m. Ayan. Then simplify it. That will become pi times 25 times 25 degrees over 360 degrees. Okay, so you can multiply it. 25 times 25 is, or pwede mo nang isama si pi. So 25 pi times 25. 25 times 25 is 625. Okay, so isama na natin si pi dito. 625 pi over 360 degrees. Okay, so yung unit natin dito ay feet. Huwag niyong kakalimutan yung unit ha, in your final answer. Okay, so next is 625 divided by 360 is 1.74. Okay, so 1.74 pi feet squared. Okay, so simplify that further, class. 1.74 feet squared. So 174 times pi, i-multiply mo pa ito, 174 times pi, and the final answer is 5.45 feet squared. So that is the area of the sector for this particular example. Okay, so let's proceed to the next example. Find the area of each sector and give your answer in terms of pi and rounded to the nearest hundred. So we have sector ACB, in which the value of R is 1 meter and the value of M, which is the central angle, is 90 degrees. So use the formula for area of sector. A equals pi r squared times the quantity of m degrees over 360 degrees. So substitute 1 for r and 90 for m. Ayan, so that will become pi times 1 squared times 90 degrees over 360 degrees. So to simplify that one, we have 1 squared is 1. So pi times 1 times 90 over 360 degrees. Okay, so multiply. 1 times 90 is, okay, so that will become 90 pi. Isama mo na si pi dito sa loob. Over 360 degrees. Okay, so i-divide natin. 90 divided by 360 is 0.25. Okay, so that is 0.90 divided by 360 lang yan ha. So 0.25 pi. Ang kanyang unit ay m. So meter squared. Meter squared. 0.25 pi meter squared. Then 0.25 pi meter squared. So i-simplify pa natin yan. I-multiply mo itong 0.25 at saka itong pi. So 0.25 times pi is 0.79 meter squared. The area of the sector in this particular example. Okay, so find the area of each sector. Give your answer in terms of pi and rounded to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so we have sector JKL. Dito class, ito. Sector JKL. Okay, so here in this particular example, again, use the formula for area of sector, which is A equals pi r squared times quantity of m degrees over 360 degrees. So substitute 16 for r and 36 for m. Ayan, so that will become pi times 16 squared times 36 degrees over 360 degrees. Then simplify that. So that will become 25.6 pi inches squared. Kasi ang kanyang unit ay inches ha, huwag ninyong kakalimutan. So that will become 25.6 inches squared. Kasi class, yan kasi ay magiging pi times 16 inches. Then raised to 2 or squared. Then times 36 degrees over 360 degrees. So kaya yan naging inches squared. Okay? So the final answer is 80.42 inches squared. So i-multiply mo tong 25.6 at saka pi. So the area of the sector is 80.42 inches squared. Okay, so we have a segment of a circle. So it is a region bounded by an arc and its chord. So dito na tayo sa segment ng ating circle. So kung kanina class, yung ating sector is part or fraction of the circle, ito namang segment ay part ng ating sector. Okay, so here is the formula to find the area of segment. Okay, so as you can see in the figure, yung segment natin, ito. So part lang siya ng ating sector. So to find the area of segment, that is equal to area of sector minus area of triangle. Okay? So ito yung ating sector. This one is the sector class. I-minus natin siya sa area ng ating triangle. Para mahanap natin itong segment. Ito yung ating segment. Yung area ng ating segment. Okay? So example, find the area of segment L and M to the nearest hundred. Okay, so first we must find the area of sector L and M. Yun muna yung ating uunahin, yung area ng ating sector. So use the formula of area of sector, which is A equals pi r squared times quantity of m degrees over 360 degrees. Substitute 9 for r and 120 for m. So that will become pi times 9 squared times the quantity of 120 degrees over 360 degrees. Yan. So, simplify that. So that will become, kapag sinimplify natin yan class, yan ay magiging pi times 81 centimeter squared 81 centimeters squared, okay, times 120 degrees over 360 degrees. So, i-multiply na natin yan, class. 81 times 120. 81 times 120 is 9,720 pi cm squared over 360 degrees. So, 9,720 divided by 360 is 27 pi centimeter squared. Okay, so magiging 27 pi centimeter squared. So 27 pi centimeter squared, i-multiply pa natin ito. Simplify further. 27 times pi is 27 times pi is 84.82. So that is 84.82 cm squared, the area of the sector. So next is we are going to find the area of the triangle. Okay, so yung next step natin is yung area ng ating triangle. Okay, so next is find the area of the triangle. So to find the area of the triangle of segment L and M to the nearest hundredth, okay, so we need to use the formula to find the area of the triangle, which is, the formula for that is 1/2 area of the triangle is equal to 1/2 times base times height. Okay? So that is the formula. So kanina, class, dito, this is our triangle doon sa circle natin kanina. Ito yung ating triangle. Ito yung kanyang center, yung N. Tapos ito yung ating chord, di ba? Ito yung ating chord. Then binisect siya nitong height, itong segment NO. Binisect yung ating chord dyan. Kaya siya naging 90 degrees angle. Okay? So, ang measure natin kanina, class, yung measure natin dito is, so since it is 90 degrees, kung balikan natin yung kanina, class, okay, kung babalikan natin yung kanina, yung ating triangle, that is 120 degrees, di ba? 120 degrees yung measure ng kanyang arc. Yung ating arc kanina, that is 120 degrees. So therefore, class, yung measure ng ating central angle, ito kasi yung central angle kanina ng ating triangle. So the measure of that is 120. But since binisect yan ng segment na to, so therefore nahati. This will become 60 degrees. Ito din 60 degrees dyan. Okay? So therefore, kung ito ay 60, ito ay 90, and ito naman ay 30 degrees. Kasi di ba yung total measure ng isang triangle ay 180. So yung measure ng right triangle na to ay 180 degrees. Okay? So therefore, class, mayroon na tayong 9. Yung measure ng radius, ito yung radius kanina, this one. This is the radius. Ito yung radius natin. And the measure of that is 9. That is 9. Okay, kung naalala ninyo, that is 9. So, here, we need to find the value of this segment, itong height. Ito yung height natin, itong h. Itong height. At value ng ating base. So, we need to apply here the trigonometric identities, which is SOHCAHTOA. Hindi kasi natin dito ma-apply yung yung Pythagorean theorem, since kulang siya ng isang measure ng leg natin. So, ang may apply lang natin dito is trigonometric identities, yung SOHCAHTOA. So, ka TOA. Okay? So meaning that is sine. Okay, ito ay sine. So is sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Then ito namang ka is cosine theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. At yung TOA naman class is tangent theta, that is tangent theta equals opposite over adjacent. Okay, so right here, we need to find first the area of the length of this, itong height, yung length ng ating height. Okay? So sine, gagamitin natin yung sine. Sine 30 degrees plus, ayan, sine 30 degrees equals, what is the opposite? Itong ating height. So height over yung ating hypotenuse, which is 9. Okay, yung ating hypotenuse dyan ay 9. Okay, so i-ano na natin class, i-times na natin. So cross multiply ka dyan, i-cross multiply mo. So that will become 9 times sine 30 degrees equals h. Okay, so sine of 30 degrees is equal to 1/2 or 0.5. So 9 times 0.5 equals h. So 9 times 0.5 is 4.5. 4.5 h. So 4.5 ang measure nitong ating height dito, 4.5. 4.5 yung height. Next naman is itong ating base. Itong kalahati ng itong triangle natin. So itong base ng ating right triangle. So to find the base of the right triangle, applyan pa din natin ito ng ating trigonometric identities. So gamitin natin si 60 degrees. Instead, pwede na tayong gumamit dito ng ng Pythagorean theorem, pero mas madali kung trigonometric identities pa rin yung ating gagamitin dito. Okay, so dito class, we need to use the trigonometric identities once again. Okay, so right here is, dito naman tayo sa 60 degrees para yung ating hanapin ay ito naman. Itong nasa baba na side, itong base niya. Okay, sine of 60 degrees is equal to B, which is the opposite side ng ating 60 degrees. Ito, yung base natin, this one, over 9. Okay, over 9 again. So cross multiply, 9 times sine of 60 degrees equals B. So 9 times sine of 60 degrees, is square root of 3 over 2. So that will become 9 times square root of 3 over 2 equals B. Okay, so 9 times square root of 3 over 2 is 9 square root of 3 over 2. And that is our B. So that is the base. Yung B natin dito ay 9 square root of 3 over 2. Pero class, yung ating hinahanap dito na sa ating triangle ay itong isang buong triangle. Itong 9 square root of 3 over 2, yan lamang ay base nitong kalahati. Nitong ating right triangle. Okay, di ba? So kalahati lang ito, yung ating 9 square root of 3 over 2. So to find the measure of, yung kabuuang measure ng ating base dito, ito class, okay, kulay blue ko ito. So to find the measure of this one, yung ating kabuuang base dito, ito, yung total length ng ating base, i-multiply natin sa 2 itong 9 square root of 3 over 2. So, i-multiply natin 9 square root of 3 over 2 times 2. So, cancel. Ang matitira na lang ay 9 square root of 3. So, therefore, the measure of yung isang buong base natin ay 9 square root of 3. So, substitute natin yan, class. Huwag niyong kakalimutan yung unit natin, ha? So, dito sa 4.5, yan ay 4.5 cm. At dito naman sa 9 square root of 3, huwag niyong kakalimutan yung kanyang unit na 9 square root of 3 cm. So, substitute the value of the base and the height to the formula of to find the area of the triangle. So, substitute 9 square root of 3 for B and 4.5 for H, which is the height. Huwag ninyong kakalimutan yung ating don't forget the unit cm dito, cm tapos cm. So, para pag nag-multiply ka, 9 square root of 3 cm times 4.5 cm, magiging centimeter squared na yan. Okay? Ayan. So, 20.25 square root of 3 centimeter squared. So, that is the area of the triangle. Pero, class, kung isi-simplify pa natin yan, 20.25, kasi kanina, class, that is, kaya siya naging 20.25 because 9 times 4.5 is 40.5 divided by 2, so that will become 20.25. Kopyahin mo lang yung square root of 3 centimeter squared. Ngayon, hindi pa yan yung final answer natin. So, i-multiply natin yung 20.25 times sa square root of 3. And the answer is 35.07. So, that will become 35.07 centimeter squared. The area of the triangle. Ito yung area ng ating triangle. So, i-minus na natin siya dito sa ating kanina, sa ating area ng sector. So, to find the area of the segment, ito, class, yung area nitong triangle natin, itong triangle natin, may area na tayo ng triangle natin dito. So, to find the area of the segment, okay, get the difference of area of sector and the area of the triangle. Okay, so i-minus natin yung 27 pi, yung area ng sector. So, yung 27 pi is 27 times pi. That is 84.82 cm. Okay, so this is yung area ng ating sector kanina is 84.82 cm squared. Minus, itong 20.25 times square root of 3, which is 35.07, yung area ng triangle. 35.07 cm squared. And the final answer is 49.75. Okay? Parang naano ko dito. Okay, so yan ay magiging 49.75 cm squared. Alright, so that is the final answer. That is the area of the segment. So kapag i-simplify natin, class, itong 27 pi, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, 27 pi is 84.82. Yung area ng ating sector, cm squared. Minus yung 20.25 times square root of 3, which is the area of the triangle, 35.07 cm squared. And the answer is 49.75 cm squared, the area of the segment. Okay? So, let's proceed to the next example. Find the area of segment RST to the nearest 100. So, find the area first of sector. ng ating RST. Okay, so here is the figure. So use the formula for area of sector. A equals pi r squared times quantity of m degrees over 360 degrees. So yung r natin dito is 4 at yung ating m ay 90. Kasi take note of this, ito ay right angle. So ito ay 90 degrees yung ating central angle. Okay? So substitute 4 for r and 90 for m. So i-substitute lang natin, so that is pi times 4 meters squared. Lagyan mo ng unit ito ha. Ito ay meter. 4 meters squared times 90 degrees over 360 degrees. Okay? Then simplify. That will become 4 pi meter squared. Then, hindi pa ito tapos class. I-multiply mo itong 4 pi. Okay, 4 pi is equal to 4 times pi. Okay, 4 times pi is 12.57. So this is 12.57 meter squared. Okay, so this is the area of the sector natin. Ito yung area ng ating sector. 12.57 meter squared. Okay? Next is find the area of the triangle, RST. So as you can see class, madali na lang hanapin kahit hindi na tayo gagamit ng trigonometric identities. Okay, so next is find the area of triangle RST. As you can see class, dito, hindi na natin kailangan gumamit ng trigonometric identities. Okay, so what we are going to do, diretso na tayo sa ating formula ng ating triangle. Tingnan nyo, yung ating base ay 4 meters at ganun din ang kanyang height kasi parehas yan radius. So pareho lang sila ng length, which is 4 meters. Ayan. So substitute the value of the base and the height dito sa ating formula ng ating triangle, which is 4 meters. So 4 meters times 4 meters is magiging ano to class? Magiging 16. Yan ay magiging 1/2 times 16 meter squared. Okay? Then 16 divided by 2 is 8 meter squared. Okay? So 4 times 4 is 16 meters squared divided by 2, 8 meter squared. The area of the triangle. So next is to find the area of the segment, itong naka-shade ng kulay green. I-minus natin yung area ng sector RST doon sa area ng ating triangle. So 4 pi minus 8. Okay, dito class, yung ating 4 pi, i-simplify pa natin yan. So 4 times pi is equal to 12.57, di ba? So that is 12.57. So ito ay magiging 12.57 meter squared minus 8 meter squared. And the final answer is 4.57 meter squared. The area of the shaded region or the segment. Okay? So that is how we are going to find the area of the segment. Okay, so next is in the same way that the area of a sector is a fraction of the area of the circle, the length of an arc is a fraction of the circumference of the circle. Okay, so how are we going to find the circumference of the circle? As you can still remember. To find the circumference of the circle, that is C equals 2 pi. C is equal to 2 pi r. Okay? So to find the circumference of the circle, that is C equals 2 pi r. Okay, so to find the length of an arc, Okay, here is the table. Okay, so arc length is the distance along an arc measured in linear units. Okay, so that is arc length. The distance along an arc measured in linear units. Ito yung ating arc. So, hahanapin natin yung length ng arc na to. Okay? So, the formula to find the length of an arc is L equals yung circumference natin, which is 2 pi r, times m degrees over 360 degrees. Okay, again, the formula to find the length of an arc is L equals 2 pi r times m degrees over 360 degrees. Okay, so example, find each arc length, give answers in terms of pi, and rounded to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so we have here arc FG. Ito yung ating arc FG. Okay, so to find the arc length, use the formula for arc length. L equals 2 pi r times m degrees over 360 degrees. Then substitute the value of r. Okay, substitute 8 for r, which is the value of our radius, and 134 for m. Okay, so that will become 2 pi times 8 cm. Huwag niyong kakalimutan yung unit natin dito, 8 cm times quantity of 134 degrees over 360 degrees. So, simplify that one. Unahin mo muna itong, i-multiply mo na kaagad siya dito sa 134. Okay? So, that will become 2 pi, or pwede ngang 2 times 8 ka na kaagad dito eh. 2 times 8 is 16. Diba? So, yan ay magiging 16 pi times 134 degrees. Huwag mong kakalimutan yung ating unit dito, ha? Yung unit, ayan, para di natin makalimutan. 16 pi cm. Okay, 16 pi cm times 134 degrees over 360 degrees. Ayan. So, simplify. 16 pi cm times 134 is 2,144 pi cm. Ayan. 2,144 pi cm divided by 360. Ayan. So, divide lang natin yan. 2,144 divided by 360 is 5.96. 5.96 pi cm. Okay? So, i-simplify pa yan. I-multiply natin yung 5.96 at saka pi. Okay? So, 5.96 pi. So, 5.96 times pi. Okay, so 5.96 times pi is 18.71 centimeter. That is the length of our arc, or the arc length. 18.71 cm. So, yung length nitong arc na to, ay 18.71 cm. That is the length of our arc. Okay? So, another example. Find each arc length and give answers in terms of pi and rounded to the nearest hundredth. So, an arc with measure 62 degrees. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung ating M. Then, the radius is 2 meters. Ito yung ating R. So, use formula for arc length, which is L equals 2 pi r times m degrees over 360 degrees. So, substitute the value of r, which is 2, and substitute the value of m, which is 62. Okay? So, 2 pi times 2 times quantity of 62 degrees over 360 degrees. So, simplify that one, and that will become 0.69 pi m. Okay? Kasi don't forget the unit, which is m, meter. So, 0.69 pi meter. Then, i-multiply mo pa yan 0.69 times pi is 2.16 meters, which is the length of our arc. Okay, so next example, find the arc length of this following figure. Ito. So give your answer in terms of pi and rounded to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so we need to find the length of arc GH. Ito, yung arc GH natin, this one. So we need to find the length of arc GH. So again, use the formula for arc length, which is L equals 2 pi r times m degrees over 360 degrees. Then substitute 6 for r and 40 for m. Okay, so substitute, then simplify. Okay, so to simplify that one, pwedeng ito class, i-multiply mo na kaagad ito, si 2 pi times 6. So yan ay magiging 12 pi. Okay, so yan ay magiging 12 pi. So that will become 12 pi. Okay, wag mong kakalimutan yung unit natin na m ha. So 12 meters pi times 40 degrees over 360 degrees. Okay? Then next is, i-multiply mo na. 12 times 40 is 480. So that is 480 meters pi over 360 degrees. So 480 divided by 360 is 1.33. Okay, so that is 1.33 pi meters. Okay, so i-simplify pa natin yan. 1.33 pi or 4 over thirds, yan kasi ay magiging, ito, this one, yan ay magiging 1.33 pi meters. Okay? 4 divided by 3 is 1.33. Then 1.33 times pi is equal to 4.19 meters. So this is the length of our arc or the arc length. Ito. So yung length dito, yan ay 4.19 meters. Okay? So next is this one. An arc with measure of 135 degrees in a circle with radius 4. So in this particular example class, okay, so the measure of the arc, which is our M, is 135 degrees and the radius, which is the R, is 4. So use formula for arc length. L equals 2 pi r times m degrees over 360 degrees. And then substitute 4 for r and 135 for m. So that will become 2 pi times 4 times 135 degrees over 365 degrees. Don't forget the unit, which is cm. So ilagay mo palagi yan dyan. Then simplify, so that will become 3 pi cm. Then 3 times pi is 9.42 centimeter, which is the length of our arc. Okay, so for mastery, kindly answer the following. Okay, so this is our quiz. Find each measure. Give answers in terms of pi and rounded to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so we have number 1 in the figure. Yan. Find the area of the sector LQM. Then the length of arc NP, yung length ng ating arc NP. Then for number 3, the gear of a grandfather clock has a radius of 3 inches. To the nearest tenth of an inch, what distance does the gear cover when it rotates through an angle of 88 degrees? Ayan. Madali lang yan. Meron ka ng radius, meron ka na ring measure ng iyong M. So find the area. Number 4, find the area of segment GHG. Okay, madali lang din ito, to the nearest 100. Parehas yan radius. So madali lang yan. Parehas yan na radius, kaya yung measure ng isang leg niya ay 14 meters din. Then applyan mo na lang ito ng Pythagorean theorem para mahanap mo dito yung length nito. Or kahit hindi ka na mag-Pythagorean theorem dito. Okay? So madali na lang ito kasi mayroon ka ng measure din ng parehas ito radius eh. Okay, itong sa number 4. Okay, so that's all for this day. Okay, thank you for listening.